Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Finya, and today I'm going to, talk about the books that I want to read this month in June. I think we already have the 6th. So yeah, I chose 6 books that I want to read, which, it doesn't sound like a lot, but recently I haven't been reading as many books, like actual novels. I've been reading a lot of manga, I've been reading a lot of short stories. At this point, 200 pages feels intimidating to me, so I kind of want to overcome the big book fear and just read more novels in general, because I kind of miss that and I want to distance myself from the mangas and graphic novels and pictures and books. Right now, I have a lot of manga series I still want to read, but at this point, I want to find some books where I just get lost and read just 100 pages in one sitting, and yeah. So the first thing is Iron Flame. So this is already the first point. Big book fear. This has around 600 pages and is the sequel to Fourth Wing. I think anyone who's not living under a rock knows about Fourth Wing and what it's about. I think I actually pre-ordered this after reading Fourth Wing, but then people read it and I've seen bad reviews of it, that Iron Flame kind of, disappointed. It's kind of the same thing as Fourth Wing, but different and longer and not satisfying. So yeah, it came and I was not really interested in reading it. I've been so craving romance in fantasy right now, so I started reading it and I think I got the first 9 chapters, which is only 84. So far, it's been a ride. I actually like it. I think it's totally what I anticipated or hoped for at this point. I think it's not as much romance right now. It's more about, the world and the conflict and the fantasy about it, whereas I think the first one was more romance set in a fantasy world that just builds around this romance, but right now it's more of, the fantasy and the political conflict in that world. So yeah, I can get why people don't love Iron Flame as much, but I'm only at page 84. I have no idea, so there's a lot of things happening. So yeah, this is the book I'm currently reading and I want to finish it soon so I can read the next couple of books. The next book I want to read is A Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. I've been getting into Shakespeare and I try to, every couple of books I'll put in a Shakespeare play, because I feel like I'm missing so much of modern innuendos or references to Shakespeare's plays, because I haven't read any of them. Because I feel like in America or like in Britain, people just read Shakespeare in school because it's in English. It's a British writer, but in Germany you don't, because you read German literature, and so I kind of missed that. Before I got interested in Shakespeare, I had no idea what any of his plays were about apart from Romeo and Juliet. This is kind of a story that everyone knows, and it's also the first play I've read of him. But Hamlet, Macbeth, like A Midsummer Night's Dream, like all of those titled, and nothing was in my head about it, so I felt a bit uneducated that one of the greatest writers in history I didn't know. So yeah, A Midsummer Night's Dream, which I've read a bit about. I think it's about basically 4 people, 2 women, 2 men, and some fairies that help them fall in love, but everything goes wrong. And yeah, it's a comedy, therefore the light cover, and I'm really excited for it. So it's also a very short play. It has like 87 pages. Yeah, so pretty short. And yeah, I've said a lot, and yeah, this video, I feel like but yeah, I'm excited to read this. So the next thing is also a book or an author I feel like you should read once in your lifetime, maybe, and that is Agatha Christie, And Then There Were None. I feel like Agatha Christie is such a huge name in the literature world, and there's so many movie adaptations I've watched, but I've never, read a book by her. And I think And Then There Were None is her biggest, like, most popular book. And it's also very, very short. It's super small. It has like barely 200 pages. And I think it's about people, someone gets killed, someone investigates. I don't know. But yeah, I really want to read Agatha Christie at some point, and this point will be this June, hopefully. Next book I do not own yet, but I will soon. It's coming in the mail, and that is called Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I've been dying to read some book of his because I've heard so many things about him, and that, his books are great, and I think he also won a Nobel Prize for literature. I think I first heard about him in a book by Carolyn Marie Reeds, I think that's her name, and she basically bought all of her books in those very pretty editions, which was one of the main factors I get interested, because, you know, there are some pretty editions of his books. But yeah, I've heard so many people now talk about his writing and, you know, his books. And I think Never Let Me Go is one of these, you know, most popular book of his, and I think it's about three characters that as kids they went to this very secluded boarding school in the middle of nowhere in England, and then they had very weird rules to follow and it was all a bit off, I feel like, but as kids they didn't know what it was about, and then they get older and as adults they revisit those memories. And yeah, I don't really know, that's all I know about this book really, but I feel like, or I've heard that people tell you to not know a lot about it when you're going in, because it is more magical if you don't know a lot. So yeah, that's the only thing. Three characters, a boarding school, something weird happens. Yeah, that's it. But I'm super excited to start reading it. There are other books like Clara and the Sun, which I'm also very interested in, and if I like Never Let Me Go, I'll definitely get a few of his other books and read those as well. And the fifth and last book is Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I think people know that name from The Atlas Six, is another book she wrote, and Alone with You in the Ether is about two people who meet and they have 6 different conversations with each other, and that is the book about, and they share their vulnerability and their flaws with each other, and they talk about love and stuff like that. I've seen quotes from this book and it feels so magical and whimsical and so beautiful, and I love her writing, even though I haven't read anything from her yet. I didn't even read The Atlas Six, which I also want to read at some point, but yeah, I've seen just small quotes from Alone with You in the Ether, which is, by the way, the most beautiful title in the world. Hello? Alone with You in the Ether. Who comes up with that? That is stunning. Stunning. But yeah, I just for these quotes I want to read it soon, and it's not very long. I think it's just these 6 conversations that they have with each other, and yeah, I just love books like that. And I've heard that it kind of reads like poetry. I'm very excited for that. I also don't own it yet, but it's coming in the mail soon. So yeah, I really want to finish Iron Flame so I can get to those other books, because I'm super excited to read them. And yeah, this is actually all I have for June, which actually I think is a lot. I think sometimes I see those videos, oh, here are the 15 books I have read in, you know, May, which sometimes is me, but in other months I've read like 2 and they're like combined 80 pages. Yeah, it's different. Sometimes I'm a 15 book girly and some months I'm like no book at all. And right now I'm really struggling to read a lot. So I think that is a solid goal, those 5 books. And I mean, Iron Flame on its own is a big book, okay? It should count as 2, so we have 6 books, I feel like. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Please hit the like button or comment something or do both. And yeah, have a great day.